Is it possible accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein had secret storage lockers and units hiding incriminating evidence or possible blackmail material, and authorities just never searched them? We are breaking down the emails and the financial records that may suggest the deceased financier was storing away all these materials and potentially even wiping digital materials too.
The change wasn't gradual, it hit like a jolt. One moment, the legal battle seemed predictable. All filings and motions, lawyers speaking in practiced, measured tones. Then, in an instant, everything flipped.
Out of the Epstein files we got to talk about here. So we have this other episode coming out of whether or not Jeffrey Epstein had an incinerator on his New Mexico property to potentially destroy evidence. You can check that one out. But now there is an allegation based on reporting primarily by the Telegraph that the deceased financier and convicted sex offender hid evidence from U.S. authorities in storage lockers all around the country. Okay, and we're talking computers, photographs, including material namely from his little St. James Epstein Island. Now, if this is true, that would make sense, right, as to why the FBI has said in the files that they don't have evidence of photos or videos of other people abusing girls or women. So that would be a major revelation if true. And again, remember, when we talk about the Epstein Files Transparency Act, the DOJ just turned over everything in their possession. Maybe they didn't have in their possession what was in the storage lockers. If that's true, it becomes a question of why. But this, again, what we're about to go through is a major potential revelation if true. And the obvious question is, how do we maybe know this? And if it's true, can authorities go and find this stuff now? So the Telegraph reports that Epstein had paid detectives, maybe even private investigators, to take equipment out of his Palm Beach home to seemingly protect it from being found by investigators. And according to the Telegraph, he leased a unit, for example, from 2003, or apparently leased a unit from 2003, and you have these credit card documents showing he seemingly made repeated payments. And we'll go through that. But here's the part that's really frustrating. According to the outlet, apparently U.S. authorities never searched these storage lockers or units. I mean, one thing that's highlighted by the Telegraph is when you look at photos of Epstein's properties, there are what appear to be large storage areas and basements that are just apparently sitting empty. Why? Was stuff moved? Maybe more importantly, why the need for these apparent storage lockers if you had the space? If you had the room on the property, why would you need storage units? And I'll get into the conversation on storage in a minute, but if you think about what could be in there, if this is true, you couple this with the theory that Epstein had allegedly secret cameras and secret recordings too, right? Look at this email that was sent to Epstein in 2014. Quote, "Remember what we spoke about. If you want to put cameras in the house, it will have to be very discreetly done. The Russians may come in handy." And we know there were allegations that Jeffrey Epstein had ties to Russian officials, maybe the Russian government. How about this one? From Jeffrey Epstein to a member of his staff in 2014. "Let's get 3 motion-detected hidden cameras that record. Thanks." So again, where's all that footage? I want to talk about the storage as potential areas to investigate, to potentially find evidence. So one of the emails from the Epstein release that I want to highlight is from August 2009. Now, this is about a month after Jeffrey Epstein is released from jail in Florida. Remember, he had pled guilty to solicitation of prostitution, including solicitation of a minor, and those convictions. And it seems there was a request from Epstein accuser, the late Virginia Giuffre, regarding certain evidence. Okay, so this is an email that Epstein forwards to his attorney, Roy Black, and then his attorney, Martin Weinberg. And this email is from a William Riley, who we'll talk about a little bit more. I believe it's an investigator of some kind. So this is an email from William Riley with the subject Epstein, and it reads, "Bob, over the weekend I learned that plaintiff's counsel are looking to get from me the computers and paperwork I took from Jeff's house prior to the search warrant. I have them locked in storage and would like to know what to do with them. They are no longer needed in the criminal case, I assume. Is it possible to give you these items for your review and safekeeping, or give to Darren Indyke or back to Jeff, etc.?" Indyke was Epstein's personal.
The moment the phrase video evidence surfaced, even unconfirmed, not publicly verified, only allegedly tied to a long-running file storm that shadowed powerful circles, the room's energy shifted. Courtrooms rely on records, transcripts, hard proof. The public? They respond to suggestion. And when people hear that such alleged footage exists, especially linked to a notorious controversy, imagination takes over. The Titan at the heart of this storm had always played it strategically. Careful words, controlled appearances, the image of calm authority. But the mention of footage changes everything. Video feels real, undeniable, tangible. Even unseen, the idea alone cuts deeper than words, deeper than papers, striking at the core of perception.
Lawyer, and at one point his co-executor of Epstein's estate. And then it goes on to say, I have attached my inventory and some of the photos of the items I have. Roy Black directed that the computer drives be cloned, and he would have the results of that effort. The cloning was done by a forensic specialist, Dave Kleiman. Let me know ASAP, Bill Riley. Now, first of all, let me just say, is this going to be enough to warrant all these people being brought to Congress to testify? Maybe. But the key there, move computers and paperwork prior to the search warrant. I mean, an argument could be, was this material moved in anticipation of the criminal investigation? Was it hidden? The Telegraph explains what former Palm Beach Police Chief Michael Reeder said when authorities searched Epstein's Florida property in connection with the initial Florida state charges that he faced. He said the place had been cleaned up, added how certain computer material appeared to be gone. Now, to give you a further idea of this, while Epstein was still serving his time for the Florida state charges, we have this May 2009 email from Epstein to this William Riley, and it says, you are going to send me a copy of Redacted's picture. Riley writes back, I thought I had a copy of it on my computer, but it is in storage with everything else. I will get it out next time I go to the storage unit. So again, seemingly confirming there is a storage unit with information connected to Jeffrey Epstein. Actually, when you think about what these people were doing for him, it is believed that perhaps William Riley was a private investigator, an investigator of some kind. And as the Telegraph notes, there are financial statements that indicate a payment trail to Riley Corrali Agency for thousands of dollars. Here's an invoice that was sent to Epstein's lawyers. Now, regarding the evidence of storage, and there are more emails in the files release regarding storage. Like, for example, I found this communication regarding Uncle Bob's storage. How about this one from Leslie Groff? We've mentioned her a lot of times here on Sidebar. This is Epstein's former assistant. Look at this email. Were extra storage keys made and given to Corinna and redacted? Please confirm. Now, Corinna, again, somebody we focused on here on Sidebar, Corinna seems to be Corinna Shuliak, Epstein's purported secret girlfriend, who he was apparently planning on leaving the mass of his fortune, $100 million, all of his properties. We saw this upon his death. Epstein spoke to her for about 20 minutes the night before he died. So, storage lockers, Corinna, you can see where we're going with this. It's very interesting, to say the least. By the way, I should also let you know, even if there are storage units, maybe it's just personal items. Maybe it's certain things that have no connection to criminal activity or blackmail, but again, weird. Now, how about this email thread with the subject, regarding Jeffrey Epstein extra storage, meet up today, please. And you have messages like this. Hello, as I sent in the other email, I am coordinating a storage locker for you. I will have it by the end of this week. I will keep you posted. Thank you, Andrew. Then this one, morning, Andrew. Just circling back regarding the extra storage. Was today a good day for Redacted to meet with you or tomorrow? TJA or Taja. You have this one. Hi, Andrew and Anthony. It seems someone has changed the code on our storage locker. Both Redacted and Redacted have tried with our codes and cannot seem to make it work. Might it be possible someone on your end changed the codes? By the way, the more and more people you see connected to this, again, I go back to the idea, the more and more people you can question about this. Now, the Telegraph reports that Epstein apparently rented a storage unit near his New York mansion, and they cite this email with his purported accountant, Richard Kahn, in 2012, where Epstein writes, if things are being moved out on